All right, guys, welcome to another episode. I am your host, Evan Saint-Gerard, your real estate agent here, always trying to give you some value. And I want to introduce my special guest.
My name is Adam Walsh. I'm a certified senior advisor, and I'm with Oasis Senior Advisors. And more than anything, we're helping folks help their older loved ones through transition points. We specialize in finding the right senior living, whether that's independent, assisted, skilled, but we have access to resources for pretty much anything you would need if it has to do with aging.
All right, I felt it was really important to have you on because pretty much I'm at a certain age, 50-ish, over 50. And a lot of my Gen X uh, people who are selling their homes, or they're thinking, all right, mom and dad, I want to make sure they're comfortable. One of them might have passed away, and the surviving member, they don't want to leave them in the home by themselves. So they're thinking of downsizing the home and moving mom or dad back into the home, or they might want to move them someplace more where they can be taken care of 24 hours a day, or whatever the case may be. So they're thinking, all right, it might be time to sell the home, move grandma, mom, grandpa, whoever it is, basically to the facility. So I felt, you know what, people need resources, and I want to be that agent that gives them resources. And I have people who, like you, who can give them some ideas of what they need to look out for, and who can help them and guide them in this wherever they're deciding to do.
Yeah. And I think we're aligned pretty similar in that, I don't do home care. I am not an assisted living. My value is in knowing what are the actual options that are available and which of those options are best for your circumstances. And there's just no one size fits all in any of this. But what I would probably say I do more than anything else is helping families understand that needs change, people change, and what did work or what was working is not necessarily what is going to continue to work as we go forward. So what I tell folks all the time is that the sooner I'm a part of the conversation with that family, the more options we're going to have, the better the outcomes are going to be because we're proactive and not reactive at that point. And it's so much, we're not just talking about where will they live. That is a small part of
Mm-hmm.
all of this. And so just being able to take a look, and I will tell you, I mean, my focus is on the older adult, right? Because as you said, your Gen X peers are the ones who are calling me more than anyone else. They got kids getting ready to go back to college, but mom's been having a hard time. They're drawn, between that and work and their house and her house. And so, they call you guys the sandwich generation, but that generation it's not just you guys. I would say the adult children who I'm interacting with on a regular basis are going to be anywhere from their low 30s up to their 60s and 70s with an 80 and 90-year-old parent. So it runs the gamut. But what you all and what everyone has in common is you really know something's wrong. You know we have to do something, and nobody has the foggiest idea of what that something is. And that's where I like to come. My favorite referral is when someone says, "I don't know what I'm going to do about my mom, dad, aunt." Talk to me then, not my dad just fell. He's in the hospital. He's in the rehab. They got 3 days left. They're kicking him out. He can't go home. What do I do? I'll help that too. And in fact, you might need me more in that situation than anything because we have hundreds of senior living options on Long Island. And if you don't have time to look at them all, you better talk to myself or someone like me so we can make sure we're only looking at places that make sense for you. But what I love is the chance to be involved early and make a plan, or maybe sometimes just a backup plan, because convincing mom or dad that making a move is the right thing can be a very different challenge.
That's another episode altogether.
It really is.
But you said something that I want to make sure the audience understands. We're here as your resource. You don't have to wait till basically to the last minute. You're watching this now. We want to plant that seed in your head. So pretty much, you know what? This is a conversation we need to start having. Even
Mm-hmm.
if you're not ready for a year, 2 years, whatever the time frame is, but you have these resources, myself and Adam, to speak to and just guide you through the process. So when you are ready to pull that trigger, okay, great. We already have these people in place. We know they're just a phone call away, and they'll point us in the right direction based on what our specific needs are. So walk me through a process. Somebody who's watching this video right now, they picked up the phone, they called you, they gave you the scenario, what's going on with their family. What can they expect from you?
That's great. Yeah. So, first things first, they can expect a lot of questions. The more I know, the better I understand, the more likely my advice is going to be accurate. So we're going to talk and we're going to take our time. Ultimately, I'll just use the example of if moving to a senior living community is what we feel is the right plan, and now we have to drill into, okay, well, which one? I'm looking to fill in four categories. So the first couple are very easy. Where, right? If you live out in the Midwest somewhere and something's 40 miles away, you go, oh, it's close. It's right next door. It's 40 miles away. You tell somebody in Lynbrook that I got a great option for you up in Oyster Bay, so location is extra important in our area, in this metro suburban Long Island. I should also mention Oasis, the company I'm with, we are a national network of local advisors. So there's someone like me anywhere. I just want to make sure everyone understands this is bigger than me. I'm a part of a great organization that really is entrenched in the senior living and senior care world nationally. But I'm an expert right here. This is my backyard. This is where I work.
But they can still reach out to you basically if they need somebody
I hope they
like
would.
you from in
Yeah,
another
I hope they would.
location.
Not to diverge too much, but real quick, I mean, lately we're bringing tons of folks back from Florida, California, Arizona, the Carolinas, because they've been retired down there for 20 years and now they want to come back and be closer to the grandkids, or maybe their care needs are such that they want to benefit from the medical system we have here. So we're bringing people back all the time, and when you work with Oasis, there's a chance that you have someone like me on that side, you got me on this side, and you are covered. Like, you're never figuring anything out on your own. So that's something that Oasis is especially good at. But at least as far as I'm concerned, local, you call me up, you're here. If we're talking and it's determined that going somewhere is in fact what is best and everyone's on the same page, and now we got to figure out where, location, so what neighborhood do we want to be in, cost, the reality is most assisted livings are private pay. I'm happy to help folks learn about and identify and engage with the few assisted livings that might be able to take Medicaid, but otherwise almost all assisted living is private pay. So we do have to talk numbers, and we have to understand, based on the planning you've done in your life, savings, resource, selling a home, what is a reasonable budget for your loved one? Because the reality is we have a wide range, but I have to understand what's realistic, because just like you, I don't want to show someone a place where they fall in love with and find out is outside of their reach.
Exactly.
I also don't want to limit somebody if it turns out they can go anywhere they like. Well, then let's go where you're going to get the most bang for your buck.
Let's keep
Let's
it
focus
real.
on the value.
Let's keep it real. You won't know unless you ask. You have to ask the questions.
That's it. We have to have we're having very intimate conversations already, so the numbers, that just has to be a part of it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
counting down again, it's location, cost, and then care, right? So most people aren't doing this for fun. 10, 15 years ago, people were moving to assisted living because they were lonely and they wanted someone to do the cooking, the cleaning,
Mm.
have a little company, and maybe just a little bit of care. That's not the case anymore in assisted living. Some of our assisted livings, we have something called an enhanced license in New York. And honestly, the majority of assisted livings on Long Island have an enhanced license now, but not all of them use it to its fullest extent. Not all of them choose to provide certain elements of care. And again, just like the cost factor, I don't want my families falling in love with the place only to find out they can't meet mom's needs. Because now what are we going to do? So I'm going to make sure that if we're looking at a place, it's in the neighborhood you want, it's in the cost bracket you can afford, they have the care capabilities that you need, and the fourth part is culture. And that's not on me, that's on the family. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to 2 or 3 places that I know is in the right place, you can afford, and they can meet the care needs. Now, you're going to tell me if you felt more comfortable in point A, place B, or place C. And you get to pick based on your comfort now, because I already covered for the important stuff. We already know it meets every other requirement. And if you tell me that you like blue wallpaper better than pink wallpaper, and that's how you're going to, fine. It's a safe decision now, because I already factored out the important stuff. And that's all I do. And then walk you through the process. I mean, I'm on the tour with my families. I'm sure when you go see houses, you're not sending them on their way and saying, like, tell me what you thought. No, we're together. We're looking at it. And where I do most of my work is in the parking lot after we took the tour. Because the tour is for the building to show off their wares and goods. And they want you to choose them, and they're going to do that. And that's great. That's their job. We're going to step outside of the parking lot. We're going to talk about it all. And I'm going to help you really understand and make sure that, yes, this is a place, because I've already pre-screened it, that works. So if you
Okay.
like it and you feel good in here, let's move forward. And then once we get to moving forward, that's where it comes back to having resources, because I might need a real estate agent to list the house, because the house is what's going to pay for this long term. I might need downsizing and clean out services. I might need all sorts of things. And I've made it my job over these years to stack that Rolodex so I know I have the right people who work the way I work and I'm going to get good feedback on. I'm never going to doubt a referral I'm giving out.
Adam, what you just said is key. And if anybody knows me, anybody who's been watching these things, is one of the things I'm striving to do is have a good Rolodex of people, professionals. Anytime somebody needs somebody, they know that Evans is the connector. Evans can connect the dots.
Mm-hmm.
I need this person. I need this person. I need this professional. All right. So me and you are right there. We're right there.
And we have been since we met. So this just continues to be a very good, a well-aligned partnership here.
Exactly. So walk me through the process. All right. So they picked the location.
Mm-hmm.
They're okay with the price. They're okay with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Walk us through the process. Now, what's next?
Sure. So assuming we're talking about an assisted living, which is a licensed entity, it's overseen by the Department of Health. They have standards, they have got rules, regulations, oversight. There's steps. It's not too onerous, but it's a couple of steps. So really, there's a small medical form that has to get filled out by the doctor. If your loved one happens to be in a rehab at this moment, the rehab's going to take care of that for us. But we have to get some medical paperwork filled out. The individual is going to be assessed. The assisted living community is going to do an assessment on your loved one. And it's a two-step assessment. First off, they're making sure, yes, in fact, we can meet this person's need. They're a good fit for our community, and we're happy to have them. But more importantly, they're going to develop what we call an individualized care or service plan. Just like in education, an IEP, an individualized education plan, we're doing ICPs or ISPs, individualized care or service plans. And that is the Bible. That's going to tell the building what their staff need to be able to do starting at minute one when your mom or dad moves in to keep them safe and happy and healthy and secure. That plan is then going to be reviewed with the family, and they're going to say, look, based on everything we saw, we're going to be providing these steps of services for your loved one. In most assisted livings, there's always a little variation, but predominantly your cost factor is rent and care. Rent is easy. Which apartment style did you pick? If you go with something semi-private or shared, or if you go with a 3-bedroom private, palatial suite up on the top floor, that's going to affect your rent. But rent is easy because it's just about what type of apartment you picked. Care is always very hard to estimate. And we don't guess, we don't estimate. If you love that building and that's where you want to move, and you move to the step of having an assessment done, that's when they bring back the rest of the details, the answers. Because they're saying this is the care plan and this is the cost associated with that care plan. Usually they'll call it a care level. So level 1, level 2, every system's a little different, but that's the idea. They're going to present that to the family and say, what do you think? If everyone's on the same page, we're going to set up a day for the move to happen. Most folks are going to take financial possession of their apartment a couple of days to a week early to give them access to start setting it up. We want our loved one on day one to be coming into an apartment that already features some of their belongings, this is home. An assisted living community, by the way, I heard you say facility earlier. In our world, facility is the F word and we don't say it.
All right. Sorry.
That's the domain of skilled nursing and nursing home, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's not us. We are assisted living communities. I'm obviously joking a little, but it's true in the fact that these are residential operations. These are not clinical operations. This is a residential option with a care component so that someone can live with the support and service they need. But the living is the point. That's what we're focused on, the living. And we want them walking into their apartment on day one. Oh my gosh, when did you guys do all this? Oh, we were here over the weekend. We had it all set up, and we still got to bring a few things over later, but we just wanted to have something nice for you. So that's kind of the model. And then in almost every case, assisted living is month to month. That's something I really like to share with folks who wouldn't know otherwise, because I think a lot of people are it's daunting to think that you're signing on the dotted line and this could be it. By and large, with a few exceptions, everyone's month to month. If you're there for any time, let's say 30 days or longer, and for any reason you decide this wasn't for me, I want to leave, your obligation is 30 days notice. That's it.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was actually thinking about that myself. I was like, all right, well.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be, it's still a big decision. I don't want to take any weight out of this, severity of this move. It's a big move. It's a big decision. Your parents or your loved ones are going to feel a wide range of emotions. So the other thing I spend a lot of time doing is explaining to my adult children of the families, wouldn't you be sad if you had to leave your home of 50 years and move somewhere? Wouldn't you be sad? And they go, because what they're telling me is, I don't want to upset my mom or dad. And I'm saying, no, I get that. But isn't it sad that they have to do this? Well, yeah. I said, well, then shouldn't they be sad? Wouldn't it be weird if they weren't sad? Yeah. I said, okay, well, can they do something that's safe and right and best for them, even though they're sad? Could they do it anyway and be sad and still survive? Because I bet they've done that a lot in their life. Nobody makes it to that age without having to have done the thing that was right and necessary, even though they didn't want to.
Adam, if I could, I would do the mic drop.
I have said that speech more times than I can count. It doesn't change much because we're just people. We're all people. And nobody wants to upset their mom and dad, with a small exception of some psychos out. That's your business. I get that. That's okay.
We're going to leave that
But
alone. We're not
but
going to go there.
I understand that you want them to be okay with this. What I want people to trust and understand is that once someone is safe, then we can talk about happy. But we don't get to talk about happy if someone's not safe.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you clarified that also. I think the other
Mm-hmm.
thing I think the kids, us kids, have to
Mm-hmm.
realize we have to be comfortable with the decision also, because our parents are looking at us for guidance also. It's just the
Or
same way.
not,
There you go. They might not want our guidance,
but
but
they might need to.
they need it. It's the same way like it was a few years back, where pretty much our parents were the one that took us by the hand. You're doing this for your own good, blah 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 blah. So now we have to return the favor to our parents. So I'm glad you mentioned this. I'm glad you had time to do this.
Absolutely.
I think the next question is basically, after this process that you
Mm-hmm.
explain, somebody's watching this and they need to talk to you. How can they reach out to you?
Sure. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send an email, put up a smoke signal, bat signal, talk to Evans. Evans has my number. I'm sure you'll be sharing out sort of the
Feel free
contact and the
to give
details.
them your information if you want.
So again, it's Adam Walsh with Oasis Senior Advisors. The email's a little long. I apologize. It's awalsh at youroasisadvisor.com. So we'll put that in there somewhere, I'm sure. Phone number. If you go on Oasis Senior Advisors, you Google it, you put in, any zip code pretty much in the middle of Long Island, you'll find me. If you're in the city, you may find my colleague Therese, who's also a certified senior advisor with Oasis, been in business for years, is a tremendous resource for me because I don't know the boroughs in Manhattan as well as I should. And I don't have to, because Therese has that covered and she's been there and she's well established. We even have a new teammate out on the east end of Long Island who's been up and running for most of this year. We work very closely together. And again, Oasis is national. So there's no reason not to read. Wherever you are, there's a good chance we can help.
So that being said, I just want people to remember, call Adam regardless, whether
Start
it's
with me.
here. Exactly. Start with him. Call him wherever it is that you need to go. Have that conversation, start the conversation, and just start planning. And if and when you need to sell mom's house, grandma's house, dad's house, Uncle Luke's house, whoever it is, give me a call.
That's right.
We service Queens, Long Island, Brooklyn, Bronx, Yonkers also. So pretty much it's me, myself, my teammate, who's a Met fan, so he's right there in spirit. Also a Grateful Dead guy. Let's not even get started on that. That's Dean Graber. You can give me a call at 917-975-5985. You can call Dean at 516-527-9549. Our website is mynyhomesales.com. You can find this video and pretty much on that website, and also on all our social media. On my social media, it's Evans, Evantz, sells homes. If you have any questions about anything real estate you need to sell for whatever reason, give us a call. Again, I want to be your connector when it comes to real estate, residential things, when you're selling. And if you need help basically with mom, dad, whoever it is, we want to be your resource. So give us a call. This is one video of many that we're going to be doing soon. You got questions, we're here to answer. We're here to help. So again, thank you for watching. Adam, thank you so much for being on the
My
show.
pleasure.
And that's pretty much it, guys. See you on the next one.
Till next time.